New here, my name is Lisa and I make gardening and nature videos on YouTube. We're gonna start out today's tour with feeding the crows. Garden Tour Saturday is a collab with Grandma Sandy, the host, and Suffolk Susie in New York, Patricia and Cube, also called Pat's Garden Life in the southern states, and Barb Daly Rural Life in Washington State. So I'm gonna feed them a new blend today. We're talking about the crows if you just joined in. We're gonna try the Temptations birthday anniversary mix. And then we have oops, I dropped my kitty treats. Temptations turkey flavor. So haven't tried these flavors yet. Haven't fed them in a few days. See what they're gonna think. I don't know if they'll pop on the live stream. Sometimes they're around all the time, and other times they disappear for a couple days at a time. They were here every day for months, and now they're on and off. So I don't know if they got other stuff going on in their lives. Who knows what kind of crow drama is going on in the world, but we'll see what happens. We're gonna put these in the rock garden, and I'm hoping that maybe a kitty will show up, like the one time a kitty showed up. You never know, and the kitty didn't eat any treats that time, so who knows what drew them in, but we're gonna put these in the rock garden before we get the garden tour started. And I don't have any peanuts for them today. I keep forgetting to buy more peanuts. I emptied the big bag I had, and I keep forgetting at the store to get them another bag. So I'm gonna try to remember to get the crows more peanuts, but for now, they're going to get kitty treats. Let me show you. Oops, here we go. We have container number 1 of kitty treats and number 2. I'm going to take them out to the rock garden and we'll take a quick little look at the flowers out there. But we'll come back later in the live stream to see if any of them have been consumed. So let's do a little field trip through the gate and see who is going to show up today in the animal kingdom. It's a little look at the rock garden. There's a few brand new flowers that you have not seen here. We're definitely going to take a look at them. I'm so excited about a few of these new guys that are blooming. So I'm going to put the kitty treats here and put them a little further apart from each other. So there we go. 2 bowls of kitty treats, and we're going to see if any crows show up or if any kitties show up or if someone else shows up. Who knows? So let's get this let's start the tour in the rock garden. And this is my apple tree. If you haven't been around for a while, maybe you don't know this. There was a tragedy that happened here a few weeks ago. My tree was so full and heavy with apples that a big chunk of the tree broke off. So I said I was going to make muffins or pies. I actually made apple crisp, and it was super delicious apple crisp. Here's a hint: if you've ever made apple crisp or if you love recipes, try soaking your apples in brandy or rum. You won't be disappointed. Welcome. I can't pronounce your name, but welcome to the chat. So that is my apple crisp. Gowida, welcome. That's my apple crisp tip of the day: is try putting a little rum or brandy in the apples. You will not be disappointed. So this is a multi-variety apple tree, and you can start to see that now. These are I think these are the Red Delicious on the tree. And over here, I can't remember, there actually are some of the original Tangs Braeburn apples, so that's a different one. Maybe that's what the green variety is. I can't remember. I have more tags in the house, but this was original on the property. Goda, welcome. When I bought this house, and there are a lot of them on here, whatever they are. I probably should have thinned them a little bit more, but that's okay. I have a hard time thinning fruit trees. they're producing well regardless. And next year the tree should be healthier and stronger. So I'm not too worried about it. I don't think the tree is going to break this time. It broke already, so I think it's done breaking. And I'm going to enjoy whatever's left on it. There's quite a few apples here still. And underneath the tree, I haven't talked about this plant at all on the channel. It has not bloomed yet, but this is something called pineapple sage. It's not super common, this beautiful lush plant here. And I actually first discovered this plant about a year ago. I was buying plants to plant at my workplace garden, and I bought one for them. And let me show you. The smell is intoxicating. It literally smells like pineapple. So I haven't done this yet at home, but I did it last year at work several times. I was plucking the leaves and putting them in my water drinks because it's the most delicious elixir. If you put pineapple sage in your water, oh my God. It's like the equivalent of having a flavored water that is free. So delicious. Cannot describe how good it smells and tastes. And it gets the most beautiful reddish orange flowers. Mine has not bloomed yet, but when it does bloom, I'll definitely show you guys. It blooms towards the end of summer typically, and it is just going crazy right now with growth. It was like a 6-inch starter plant a few months ago, and it is huge now, and that is so awesome. My nepeta is in full bloom, and it is gorgeous. I'm just sitting on one of the little cat perches in my rock garden right now. There are tomatoes coming out here. I put some seeds a while ago. Pansies, rock roses are blooming. Lots of butterflies come and go here. Usually white ones. Occasionally I've seen giant orange ones, but typically it's the white butterflies in this area. Lots and lots of baby's breath is starting to bloom. And let's take a look at the bee sanctuary over here. There are so many bees. I don't know if the camera really captures it, but this is like a bee and butterfly little sanctuary that I have going on. This was not intentional, but it just happened that they seem to really like the flowers that I put over here. A lot of these were wildflower mixes. And these bees are very happy. They're all over. They're really quick, so I don't know if they're being captured on the camera, but there are a lot of them in here, that's for sure. And these are a mystery poppy that popped up. Hello, Jonah Lillenberg. Welcome. This red poppy, I've never grown a poppy anything like this. It's completely different than all of the other like Flanders poppies. And I don't even know all the names. I've grown so many red poppies, but none that have foliage or plant growth like this. This is a really low growing poppy. And at first I thought it was a different flower, but I actually have no idea what variety of poppy this is. So excited to have it. There are so many flower buds on here. If you know the name of this particular poppy, let me know, because I'm super curious what this is. This was a random surprise in a wildflower mix, and it is stunning. It's kind of the lonesome flower in this flower bed. They're all shades of purple, blue, white, with a little bit of orange thrown in, and then the red popped up. So it's kind of like a soul piece of beauty in the flower bed. I just love it. And at the back we have a Desert King fig tree, original here. My peas are almost ready to be pulled out. They're starting to fade pretty fast, but the fig tree is looking pretty awesome. There was a full-size fig on here, but I think it fell off, and the second crop of figs is starting to grow now. Sometimes these do ripen on Vancouver Island. They don't always ripen, but hello, Arnold Live. Welcome. Satin Kuzum. Name Lael. Welcome to the live stream on Vancouver Island. Lots of fig growing here. They're pretty small, so they may not ripen, but they might. Depends how the summer goes and the fall. More figs here. It's got a lot of foliage happening on this tree. These are all pretty small, but potentially they may ripen by like late September, early October, if the weather is good. So we've got more baby's breath happening over here. There's a lot of flowers that have not bloomed yet. And I don't even know what they are per se, but I will find out. Gorgeous bumblebees. Now let's venture over to another section of the rock garden. I'm gonna show you a flower that started out as a mystery, and this is a mystery right now, a new mystery right here. I don't know what this is, but it popped up in my garden and it is so gorgeous. Man, the camera is not focusing today. It's actually more fuchsia in real life. It's kind of pale on the camera. It's really, really pretty, and there's only one of them. I don't know what it is. If you know what this is, please let me know. I am so curious. And we're gonna venture and take a look at a mystery that is no longer a mystery. This gorgeous wildflower is something called Chlerica. I've never heard of it before. I actually thought it was hibiscus when it popped up. And one of my family members who doesn't know anything about gardening actually identified this online. It is a wildflower and it looks like a hibiscus, exotic hibiscus to me. The flowers start out fuchsia pink and then they change into a white with stripes. It is so magical, so gorgeous, and I'm so happy to have it. And I actually thought it was a weed when I first started seeing it in the garden. I almost pulled it out. I'm so glad I didn't. It's absolutely stunning. My only wish is that there are more, and I have to say, my garden has not disappointed. Since I first discovered this beautiful wildflower, there is another one here, and it has just started blooming. I'm so excited. Let me show you Chlerica number 2. So this is Chlerica number 1, the original. And right over here, we have a second Chlerica that is now blooming, and I am so thrilled to know there are 2 of them here. I'm so excited about this. What a delight. And I don't know where it came from. I'm assuming it was the wildflower mixes, but I don't know. I left a lot of the original plants on this property. The whole thing was renovated. 9,000 square feet was given a makeover in the last 8 months. And I tried to save as many original plants as I could, and soil. So this could have been here originally, or this could have been in the wildflower mix. I don't know for certain, but I am very happy to have it wherever it came from. More bees out here. They just love wildflowers. They love all the flowers here. And I have another little surprise. I believe this is a petunia, and I am so excited to have it. Not focusing on the camera. Wow, why is the camera doing that? It's not doing pleasant things to me. So I have tried for years to grow petunias from seed as well as from starter plants. And when I plant the starter plants, typically they die quickly. I don't know why. And this is the first year I've had good luck with them. They're growing here, and they're also growing in a giant flower pot by my vegetable garden. There's so many flowers, and I am so delighted. I feel like this property, everything I tried to grow in the past and couldn't grow is able to grow here, which is wild. So fun. So, lots more flowers to come that have not bloomed yet. I don't even know what they all are. I'm going to show you some more bee action over here. They love California poppies. They are just buzzing, and I don't know if the camera actually captures that, but I can hear bees buzzing everywhere. I don't know how good the audio is on these phones, but in real life, there's a lot of buzzing action happening here. More California poppies. I have a little, I don't remember if this is a calendula or a zinnia. I think it's a calendula. And I've never grown this variety before. I've grown many calendulas in the past, And not this particular variety. These are edible, though I haven't done any taste tests, assuming this is a calendula. I'm not really in the mood of taste testing flowers today, but that day will come soon. I do it often. So we're gonna have another look at my red flax. I showed this a couple live streams ago where there was one flower. I tried so hard to grow this at my last house, could not grow it. And here I have 4 flowers now, and they are so gorgeous. Now, I wish this camera had like a macro focus. I'm trying to zoom in on these flowers and it's really not doing it justice. They're like all blurred and they're really, really pretty, and the color is spectacular, but the camera is not depicting that very well. Maybe it's the lighting, I don't really know, but they are much more pretty in real life than the camera is showing. So, these are my African daisies. Once again, couldn't grow them at my last property, and they are growing pretty well here. Little collection that I grew from seed with some nasturtiums. And I think we're gonna venture back into the vegetable garden and check out what's growing over there. We've seen most of the highlights here for right now. See more bees as we go by. There are lupins in here. My one lupin is already finished blooming, but there are many more to come. And they are mixed with yarrow and baby's breath, which is a really pretty combination. I didn't know it would look that good. Same with the alyssum. The alyssum went really well in the mixture here of white with blue, purple, and pops of orange. So we are going to venture back and check out the veggies. I have harvested 3 spaghetti squash in the last week or so. And there are several more that are pretty much ready to be harvested. Hello, Namaste, welcome. We're checking out my backyard vegetable garden. There's been a lot of change in the last few days. So if you've been around for a while, things are looking quite different out here. This is my most epic raised garden bed ever. This was constructed with recycled grass and sheep manure of all things. And I am blown away by the result. It is just blowing my mind every single day I come out here. I have used so many manures over the years: chicken manure, horse manure, rabbit manure, mushroom manure. Oh, what else have I used? I can't remember now, but of all the manures I have ever used, sheep manure, there is no comparison. It is like blown every other manure I have ever tried using out of the water. Like, I am just so freaking shocked. It is not even jungle. This is beyond jungle, what is happening here. And believe it or not, I prune this every couple of days. You would not know that I have pruned this at all. I have some evidence, although it shrivels up pretty fast. I have a bit of a collection in my compost, but you cannot tell that I prune this every couple of days. And it's like I didn't do anything when I prune this. And let me tell you, I definitely prune it. So it's kind of just blowing me away on so many levels. And let's look at the squash that are still on the vine that I haven't picked yet. There's one here growing in my flower pot. I think that is awesome. Another one suspended from the garden bed. Some tomatoes just hanging out. Tomatoes are everywhere. The vines are escaping. Tomatoes are really kind of the soldiers in this flower bed. They are just like pretty much everywhere. And where the tomatoes are the vines are. And there are squashes, cucumbers, pumpkins, what I believe to be cantaloupe, all in this bed. The flowers are everywhere. It is just a hot jungle. I can't even begin to show all of what's happening in here because there's so much going on. Let's see, I think I'm going to show you what I believe is a pumpkin. Now this is kind of weird because I didn't think I planted pumpkins here. I thought I had mystery squash growing with spaghetti squash. So my real question is this really a pumpkin or is this something else? But I'm getting pumpkin vibes. Have I seen the sunflower? I sure have seen the sunflower. I have so many sunflowers. Check it out. This is a little collection of mini sunflowers. This is called Vanilla Ice for anyone who's interested. They're a much more pale yellow than the traditional sunflower. But let me show you more sunflowers that are not in the vegetable garden. We've got more stuff happening in the flower garden. Let's go over this way. Check out the real superstars in the sunflower world. We've got this magnificent sunflower with a bumblebee in it right there. And this is a multi-variety one. I don't know the name. It was supposed to be miniature, but it is sure not miniature. And some of them have faded already. There's more. That's all one plant. And then we have the tall guys. I am a little person at 5'4", but let me show you the taller ones. I don't think you're gonna be able to see them, maybe. They're getting pretty out there. We can see them from the front over the fence. They're the view the neighbors get, these ones. I don't know if you can even see them in the camera. I can't see the camera. I'm just putting my arm up there. Hopefully you see what it looks like. My little wind chimes. And I have a big surprise to show you. I'm so excited. If you've been around for a while, some of you guys have been waiting for this. I was waiting for this for ages. My gladioli are starting to bloom. I'm so excited. And they're supposed to be purple and pink. And so far the package did not lie to me. This is actually a vibrant purple color. So gorgeous. I love it. And there's another one over here. And there's definitely a lot more to come. I'm waiting for the fuchsia pink ones to start. There's a lot more spikes, so the flowers are coming. Just have to be patient with them. This is Bachelor's Buttons, a lovely little wildflower, vibrant blue color, snapdragons, wallflowers. I get asked a lot about those flowers. Wallflowers and mermaid lavender, very similar flowers, and they grow really well together. And the vine you see over here is full of mildew and it is so wild. This is a pumpkin plant. And I'm going to show you some of the pumpkins. Now, this is kind of wild. I wouldn't have expected pumpkins to be this big in July. I don't know what variety of pumpkin this is, but it is something beautiful. I've had poor luck growing pumpkins, so I'm so excited to have this. And this whole plant originates over here in this section, which has unaged horse manure. I went to a horse farm last winter and got that for this area of the flower garden, just the perimeter, not the main part. And that is where the pumpkin plant originated. And I would say it's pretty happy with the horse manure. You can see the remnants of the horse manure that are not composted. It's still there underneath all the mulch. You can see the crows leave their peanuts everywhere. Scraps. I do believe there are more pumpkins on the vine. I'm trying to find them, but they are elusive. I think there are 3 of them. Now, I think this might be the other one I haven't showed you yet. This one here, that's number 2. There should be a 3rd one and maybe more that I don't even know about. This is like a massive vine. I can't even tell you how big this is. My mom found some the other day and I think they're bigger now, but I always lose where they are. There's lots of flowers on here still, everywhere. So that is the situation of the pumpkins and the sunflowers. The peas are almost finished. I have still been eating them, but the flavor isn't quite as good as it once was. I'm probably gonna pull the pea plant soon, but the fact that I was eating delicious peas until early to mid-July is wild. In my last garden, peas would typically be done by May, completely done, and I'd pull them out. And it's July and they were still tasting really good, which is crazy. The weather has been so beautiful for growing this season. Very mild with enough rainfall to keep things going, even if you're not actively watering super crazily. Such an amazing growing season this year on Vancouver Island. That's a pear tree. If you didn't see that already, there are pears at the top. That's where the peas are growing. Raspberries over here. Actually, I was gonna say there's nothing there, but there is a raspberry on the bush. I think a sole little raspberry is over there. I'm gonna check if it's ripe. I didn't actually eat that many of these this season. Oh, let's see, it might be ripe. I'm just gonna taste it. I haven't had any in quite some time. Tiny little raspberry. Oh my God, that is good. Really good, definitely worth picking. So let's turn around again and look at the vegetables a bit more. I want to show you the changes. So we pretty much checked out this garden for the most part. There's more in here. Well, we didn't look at the tomatoes very much actually. We'll take a brief pause to check out the tomatoes. I've been propping them up. This is an umbrella. If you've been around for a while, I had a beautiful new umbrella. Let's just say Mother Nature had plans for me and my umbrella. I walked out here one morning after a beautiful sleep to find the umbrella at its demise. A massive windstorm came through and took it out. Not to worry, there will be a new umbrella coming. So here we have some massive tomatoes that are growing. There are so many different varieties here and big, juicy tomatoes. They are not even close to ripe. They keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it is blowing my mind. I am just shook with how big some of these are getting, how many there are, and the fact that I keep pruning them. And you can't even tell that I've pruned them. It is kind of wild. The vines are going everywhere into my rose bushes. And I'm not mad about it. And here we have my little petunia plants. First time I've ever been able to grow those. They are being overtaken by tomatoes, and I'm not mad about that either. Fellow tourists, last time you ate flowers, now you're eating the fruits. Yes, so true. I could eat more flowers, but I'm not in the flower mood today, but potentially for lunch, but that'll be later today. So let's look at this little bee as we go check out the other beds and the pumpkin flower. And this area looks much different. This is where I did my massive potato harvest. And let me tell you, those potatoes are so delicious. And you might think, what did I have here? So I replanted a few potatoes from the last harvest, the little ones. And then I sprinkled a lot of cucumber seeds. I don't know if they're going to grow or not at this stage of the season, but I have nothing to lose. So there are a ton of cucumber seeds in here. If they grow and produce, awesome. If they don't, it doesn't matter. There are more tomato plants over here. So if you're new here, what you're looking at, this bed has no sheep manure. That is the main difference. This soil was original to the property. I did not really amend it. Except a few days ago, I got tired of the poor soil and I bought some fertilizer, traditional organic fertilizer. I'll show it to you. I started fertilizing a few of the plants. This is granular kelp. It is organic, awesome fertilizer. Now, my long-term plan is actually to get more sheep manure. I am gonna sheep manure the heck out of this property because the plants love sheep manure. There is a sheep farm just down my street in the middle of suburbia. It is an older person that runs the farm. I want to support them, and my garden would love the extra nutrition So at the end of the season, when this is all done, there's going to be a lot of sheep manure coming back into this garden. At the first part of the season, I wanted to see how good the soil was, so I didn't want to touch this with too much fertilizer. Now I know it's very not nutrient rich. It needs amending. So sheep manure will be coming to the rest of the garden. So don't underestimate the power of poop in the garden, whether it is sheep manure or other manures. Poop is like literally the best fertilizer. You can buy all kinds of organic stuff or not organic, like the, I don't want to say chemical, but the not natural stuff, and you may get results, but nothing compares to the power of real manure from animals. It is amazing. So this is a lavender plant, pretty much finished blooming. More tomatoes over here. These are the cherry variety. They've been slow to ripen, but they're just starting to get ripe now. This is a wild beefsteak of some sort. Lots of tomatoes here, but they're growing a lot smaller than the ones in my sheep manure bed. So that's kind of interesting, but not surprising, given the nutrition of the soil, it appears. In this corner, I don't talk about this much. This is my massive rosemary plant, and it is delicious. I put this in poultry dishes all the time, and the smell is so intoxicating. If you pick some rosemary and pick the lavender I have behind me, and then you go and water the tomatoes, holy crap, if you walk by this part of my garden, the smell feels like you've just walked into like some kind of culinary, outerworldly culinary experience. The tomatoes are so, the smell is all over the air. And then if you pick rosemary and lavender, holy crap, I can't tell you how good it smells. So aromatic plants are absolutely delightful to plant in your garden. Highly recommend that. What else can we check out here in the vegetable garden? My spinach is starting to go to seed, but no fear, it still tastes delicious. Even though it's about to flower, this is the most amazing spinach I've ever encountered. It doesn't look beautiful. In fact, it looks kind of ugly right now, but the taste is still delicious. Purple mountain spinach is what it's called. That's what the leaves look like. They actually usually look more burgundy, but they're starting to get more green. Definitely going to flower soon, but I still eat this all the time. Even though it's about to flower, it does not taste bitter, even slightly. So that is awesome. My Swiss chard is definitely about to flower. There's no stopping it now. I still eat it though. The lower leaves still taste really delicious. There's no bitterness. I love the texture. It reminds me of romaine lettuce. And here's a little tip for you. A lot of people don't know this. So if you look at a leaf like this, you might think, oh, that's terrible. You're not going to eat that. But do you do a live harvest? I have done live harvests before. I did a potato one a few weeks ago. I did a single squash harvest in one live stream. I think when the tomatoes start to ripen in full abundance, I'm going to do a tomato harvesting video. I don't do them all the time. Once in a while, I'll do a live harvest video when there's an abundance of something to harvest. But so if you take this leaf, you might think, why would you ever eat this leaf? You should just pluck it off and compost it. Well, you might not quite know the full value of what this is. So if you have leaves with these little holes in them, those are typically insect bites. And what the plants do in response, they release certain chemicals that will actually, in terms of nutrition, provide more, I'm trying to remember the word. It's basically the cancer-fighting molecules or proteins or whatever they're called. There will be an abundance of them in response to the insect invasion in the plant. So they're actually providing you a lot more like super foods in that leaf that has a bite mark in it. Most people would not eat this. I actually usually do eat these because they're actually more nutritious in a sense than the super pristine looking vegetables. So there's a bit of information for you. A lot of people just discard stuff like that. not necessarily the best idea. I mean, if you want to just eat perfect food, you certainly can, but you're missing out on a lot of nutritional value. So, food for thought. Don't necessarily judge nutrition by the way a plant looks perfect. It's not necessarily perfect in value. So here we go. These are pansies. They're edible flowers. I do put these in salads quite often. Grew them from seed, and I love purple. So gorgeous. And I think that's all I have for you today. It's not the most exciting live stream, to be honest, but I don't have any more highlights to share. I mean, I do have something I'm working on, but it's not at the stage I'm going to show it yet. So we're going to leave it there. Have a lovely afternoon, day, evening, night, wherever you are, and thank you for joining in. We will see you soon in another video. Bye-bye.